Hey there, good morning or good afternoon. It depends on whatever time of day you are checking this out. So, whether or not, let me get some coffee, whether or not you were absent, whether or not you might be stuck at home for whatever reason, or maybe you just need a quick recap on what we've been doing in class. This video is for you. You are in the right place. And I hope that you are comfortable and ready for this quick recap of the new unit that we have been working with, building a brand, building your brand. Now, we start every unit. I mentioned this in class. We start every unit with kind of a quick write. It's a way to get your brain organized for the writing process, and really the writing process that Mrs. Cleveno and I, that we are trying so hard to get you to master to pass that state required assessment, right? So I'm sharing my screen right now. And bear with me because there's going to be multiple screens popping up and down. So we talked about building a brand. We all took that Google form and we chose building a brand. The way that I wanted to get you all thinking is the question that you see now on your screen. Do we need words to understand? And I went through each of these little images and I pointed out that you'll notice there are no words on these logos, on these brands: Twitter, Pepsi, Pizza Hut, Nike, Starbucks. And some of us even knew the taglines, right? Like "Just Do It" with Nike. Disney, we all thought about that noise that it makes when that little fairy dust flies over. So, thinking about the power of branding. Each class was presented with this prompt. The company through which you're employed is not making much money. I pushed everyone to think creatively. The marketing department is stumped. They keep telling headquarters, and your boss included, that in order to be successful in this economy, an eye-catching brand is vital. Do you believe your company should spend the extra money to design and adopt an eye-catching brand to increase sales? Consider other companies' brands like the images you saw before, like Nike, Starbucks, McDonald's, and write a letter to your boss explaining your stance. Be sure to include your claim statement and specific examples that will support your claim. So the prompt you see now, you might see on that state required writing work keys, it's what it's called, on that state required assessment. You might see that. So when you're given a prompt, Mrs. Cleveno and I, sharing another tab, we talked about our writing process. And this is it right here. And you can see it bulleted. Every time you get a prompt, you're going to break it down to determine the actual question. You're going to brainstorm. You have to brainstorm. You have to set that foundation. And we use what's called a T-chart model. And a T-chart it's a lowercase t. And I'll go over that too. We determine our RAFT, R-A-F-T. It's an acronym. It stands for something. We make our claim. Some of us, we really like to organize our thoughts before we get writing. Others, we jump straight into writing our letter. So I'm sticking with the document that you see here now. And everyone has access to this. Remember, it's in Canvas, it's linked in Canvas, and it's also linked in our English 11 fall semester Google folder that all students have access to. So again, that super wordy prompt is right there. And step one is we determine the actual question. And here we go. Here is the actual question. All that words, and this is what it's asking you. Do you believe your company should spend the extra money to design and adopt an eye-catching brand to increase sales? So it's asking, do you believe? Well, that really helps you as you go through this process determine your claim, because you can steal from that question. Yes, I believe that my company should adopt. Or, no, I do not believe my company should adopt. So you see, it's all part of the process. Again, this is the assignment. This is how you're going to explain your stance. You're going to write a letter to your boss. Again, you got to get creative because for some of us, we might not have jobs. So it's okay to use your imagination and think of a creative job that you might be in or might want to be in. And you can make up any name for your boss as you write your letter. You can write to Miss Stillwell. You can write to Mrs. Cleveno. If you got Coach Henderson, write to Coach Henderson. You can make up a boss's name. Dear Mr. Bell, if you're working at Taco Bell. So be creative as you determine your audience. Jumping back, this is the part where we brainstorm. Let me zoom in just a little. This is the part where we brainstorm our own ideas. Now, the example that is on your screen is one of the examples I modeled for our third block, and it was Trisha's Top Shop, right? I'm getting creative. My first name's Trish, if you didn't know. Trisha's Top Shop. And you can see I listed points on both sides, both I believe our company needs a new brand, and no, I do not believe our company needs a new brand. So it's so important as young writers to be able to have points on both sides, because when you're done brainstorming, when you've typed everything that you need to do to get your thoughts out, I call it word vomit, right? You're putting all of your thoughts on that T-chart. Then whichever side you have the most on is the side you write towards. And that's what good writers do. We consider both sides and then choose. Continuing on, we're going to talk, the next part in our writing process that we will use is the raft. And we have R, and R stands for role. So every time you write, you're going to take on a role. The majority of the time, we'd like you to be yourself. Sometimes we might have you take on the role of someone else, someone that we're studying. But for this particular writing assignment in our raft, I want you to be yourself. The A stands for audience. Who is your audience? The prompt told you, write a letter to your boss. So now I want you to name that boss. This one, my boss at Trisha's Top Shop. And my boss's name is going to be Dr. Hornick. Why not? It's my principal. It's our principal. Let's just give our boss a name. The format, the prompt told us the format needs to be a letter. And the topic is from our prompt. Let's rebrand. Continuing on in our writing process is you make your claim. And there are several example claims in this document, and I want you to steal from them. Notice the highlighted, the yellow, blue, and the light purple. Claims should be organized, and they must be one sentence. They must. A claim it includes your topic. Well, it's our topic, we said, was the rebranding. Our stance, whether or not you believe. And the support, your two or three examples, those come from your T-chart brainstorming. So you can see topic, stance, support. And that first one that you see on your screen is my example. Our company, Trisha's Top Shop, should, or maybe you chose should not, should redesign and adopt a new eye-catching logo because it would help increase overall sales and provide a chance to get new customers. Those 2 to 3, I only did 2 examples, but those again come from your T-chart. There are some other examples. This example 1 we did in our first block. I created the company Canine Companions. Another example, following this model, topic, stance, support, 1 sentence. Our company, Canine Companions, should recreate and adopt an eye-catching logo because it would help our company get our message across about our dog services and also increase our sales. Excellent. There are some other examples embedded in here, and they perfectly followed my model. The student right here got super creative. The student said, I believe that Eric's Electronic Elephants would profit with rebranding and remarketing, and it would expand our company and increase product by 48%. Now, this student is a genius. This student made up that 48%, that profit margin. The people who are going to be grading your state assessment, They have no idea. They don't know the truth. It's okay to kind of flub and add in those supporting details to beef up your writing. And this 48% is also an example of one of our rhetorical devices, right? That's logos, logistics, numbers, and data. Beautifully done. The next part of our writing process, and if I'm going fast, pause the video, rewind it, fast forward, whatever you need. The next part is the organization part. I did make a little note up here. It's optional, but it is so helpful. It is so helpful. When we write our letter, it's what the prompt tells us to do. The first thing we do is we thank our reader. We've been talking a lot about tone of voice and how your tone of voice changes based on your audience. If I were writing to my Nana, I'd say, "Thank you, Nana, for reading my letter. I love you so much and I miss you." But if I'm writing to Dr. Hornig, I'm not going to say, "Thank you so much, Dr. Hornig. I love and miss you." I'm not going to say that because my audience drives my tone. So thank our reader. We restate some key details from the prompt to elongate our introduction paragraph, and we make our claim. Please remember, a claim is one sentence. It's just one sentence. Here comes the body, the meat, the beef of our letter. The next paragraph, your body paragraph, you talk about your first point. You use phrases like, "for example," "while at the office," "another time," and "don't forget about." If you have a second point, which you all have right here, you introduce your second point, "because of decrease in sales," right? Get creative. Although, and please, I did that little star, get personal. Connect to your writer. People who are going to be grading these essays for that state assessment test, they want to read about good, juicy stuff. So it's okay to get personal. And if you have a third point, you add it right in underneath your second point. So this is your conclusion paragraph. And conclusion paragraphs, they should be, and they can be, the smallest paragraph in your letter. Why? Because you've said everything that you have to say. And sometimes readers get bored. So close it out and be done. In this conclusion, you restate your claim, but you make it multiple sentences. So this is the part where you can break down your claim and simplify them if you'd like. Remind the reader what you care about. And then you thank them again. You always sandwich letters with a thank you and a thanks again. It's just professional and it's a little respectful. People like to give to feel appreciated. The final thing you do in this is you give it a signature. So you can say thanks again, your name, sincerely, your name, or looking forward to your response in your name. And this is the organizer that we use throughout our process. The last piece, the graded piece. This is a project. This is a paper. This is what I'm grading in our grade book, is you actually write the letter. So you say, "Dear Dr. Hornig," mine would be Dr. Hornig because that's the audience I chose. "Thank you for taking the time to read my letter regarding," what's my topic? "Regarding canine companions." That was one of my examples. "Thank you for taking the time to read my letter regarding Trisha's Top Shop," right? Because that's my other example. And you restate the prompt and apply it to your life to make it relevant. When I say restate the prompt, I want to show you what I mean. I'm going back up to the prompt. This is what I'm stealing. This complex sentence is what I'm going to steal. I copied it. And I'm going to restate it right here because that's what my organizer tells me. And I'm going to restate it. "Thank you for taking the time to read my letter regarding Trisha's Top Shop." The marketing department is stumped. They keep telling headquarters, my boss included, that in order to be successful in this economy, an eye-catching brand is vital. When we restate the prompt, it gives our reader a little bit of background, and it helps elongate and kind of beef up our introduction paragraph. So now we're going to apply it to our life and make it relevant. I really enjoy my job within this company. That's how I connected to it. And then we're going to make our claim. Please remember, our claim is one sentence, and our claim in our writing process is what we did up here. So I'm taking this and I'm putting it right here. Our company, Trisha's Top Shop, should redesign and adopt a new eye-catching logo because it would help us increase our overall sales and provide a chance to get new customers. Please don't forget to always indent your paragraph. It's the tab button on your keyboard. So now we're going to, continuing our letter, we're going to present our first and most important point. Now, help us increase our overall sales. That's my point one. So now I'm going to write a paragraph on how this will help increase our overall sales. My point two, because I only had 2 points in my claim, this is my point two. And it goes right there. So this paragraph is about providing a chance to get new customers. And in each of these paragraphs, give examples. For example, or at another job, this helped. And get creative. Okay, so you're going to beef up your writing with those kind of phrases. The conclusion, you restate the prompt and your claim in a different way. Thank your reader again. If you have any new ideas, it's always important in that conclusion paragraph, if you have them, to present new ideas and ways to solve the problems or any new concepts. Present them here. It does help. And then thank you and your name. So this is this writing process. We broke down the prompt. We brainstormed, determined our raft, made our claim, organized, and then wrote our letter. Now, the end of this video, I am going to go over the grading rubric. So everything I give you has a rubric. I like clear boundaries, and this rubric, there we go. This rubric will help get us there. It's exactly what I want, and it's what we expect. So I want you to notice the top. It says extra credit 5, what's required 4, below expectations 2, or did nothing. Most papers and projects that we assign to you, you will have the chance for extra credit. For the majority of us, this right here is our happy place. This column of what is required. So I'm looking now on the left side. Here is everything I expect. I expect your claim statement. I expect it to have a topic, stance, and your evidence. For extra credit, give me a counterclaim. I have not taught extra credit yet, or the counterclaim yet. If you know how to do it, do it. What is required is a claim statement. Below expectations is you did not follow our structure, and it's more than one sentence. The next thing I'm grading you on is your personal examples that supported your claim. And we use phrases like this. That's what's required. For example, or one time or I recommend our company. So that's the part where you really connect and you beefed up your body paragraphs. I am also grading you on spelling, punctuation, capitalization, punctuation like commas and periods. It's time, y'all. You're grown-ups. Semicolons and colons will be extra credit because I have not gone over them. So if you successfully include semicolons and colons, you'll receive that extra credit. Please, your letter must be organized. It must be in the letter format. Paragraphs must be indented. And please see the graphic organizer from that template I was just on if you need help with that. Extra credit, 6 or more. What is required? 4 to 5. Below expectations, 3 to 2. And if you wrote nothing or just 1, you get no points. The format, it should be typed. I'm going to take out double space because I'm not really worried about that right now. But it should be typed. The font, right? So the way it looks, the style, it should be Times New Roman or Arial. Now, the date I introduced this letter was Tuesday. I introduced this to all classes on Tuesday. It is due on Friday. Now, that means Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we worked on this in class. The dead date, and I went over due dates and dead dates on my syllabus. The dead date is Wednesday, August 25th. Remember, I did this little note at the bottom. We will have in-class time devoted to this essay up through Friday's due date. After the due date, if I don't have it in Google, it's on your own to finish it by the dead date. If you did not communicate with me, if you did not communicate with Mrs. Cleveno about needing an extension, and we don't have it by the dead date by Wednesday, August 25th, it is a 0. You have to communicate with us, okay? Now, this concludes my little writing process recap. If you have any questions, please ask. Please, we're here to help you. Thank you all.